Okay, so hopefully you've got through the GDC and you've got the chi-squared two-way stat results in front of you. They're in the picture. Okay, so right at the beginning I said you'll be given a significance level. Okay, how confident do we want to be of our answer? Okay, so let's assume that we're carrying out a chi-squared test 5% significance level. That means we can be 95% confident of our answer. Okay, it could be 10%, it could be 1% significance. Okay, so a 10% significance level is less accurate. We're not as sure of our answer, etc. Okay, but that should be given to you in the question. If it's not stated in the start of the question, then we're going to have to use the p-value, but more on that in a minute. Okay, so I'm just dealing with the calculated value that we've worked out. Okay, you will be given what we call a critical value. Okay, the critical value of the chi-squared at 3 degrees of freedom is 7.815. You will be, if you're expected to use this value, you will be given this in the question. Okay, if this value is not given, then we'll be using the p-value again, and as I said, that's coming up. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to compare 7.85 against our calculated chi-squared value, which is down here at 33.761, blah 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 blah. Just a reminder, degrees of freedom was 3. Okay, so that's from the earlier videos. Alright, so critical versus calculated. Alright, so let's assume that we have, well, we've just carried out a chi-square, so let's pretend it's got a shape like that. Okay, so it's a distribution, and it's told us that we have a chi-squared critical value of 7.815. So let's say there is a line here at which this is 7.815. Chi-squared is increasing to the right. Okay, that's being calculated because this area is 5%. Okay, so this line here that we're drawing, we're saying, right, for our results, if we are anywhere in this region, anywhere to the right, then something weird is happening. Okay, the numbers that we got are significantly different to those that we expected. Okay, so what was our chi-squared calculated chi-squared calculated value from the GDC was 33.8 to 3 significant figures. Okay, so 33.8 is going to be about here on our chi-square. So we're way past this critical line. Okay, so we're in this region to the right. Okay, this is the reject H0, okay, or do not accept H0. Okay, 33.8 is greater than 7.815. The calculated value, chi-squared calc, is greater than chi-squared crit. We are in the reject H0, do not accept H0. So what is that saying? We could accept our null hypothesis. Shirt choice is independent of gender. That seems to make some sort of sense, and that's what the data is showing us. Okay, but what if we haven't been given the chi-squared calculator, the critical value? What if we're working purely on the probability values? Okay, so the distribution is still the same. It's still a chi-squared chi-squared distribution. We are still looking at a significance level of 5%. Remember, this is 0.05. So if we look at the area, so if we go back to this picture and we now look at our p-value, this is 2.22 times 10 to the negative 7. So we've got a p-value of 2.22 2 times 10 to the negative 7, which is a teeny, I think I'm running out of space. Yeah, probably something blah, blah, blah. It's tiny. Okay, so that tells us that the area of our thing is like this little big. Okay, so we're to the right. We are to the right of this critical line. We're in the reject H0 again, okay? So reject H0. The p-value calculated is less than the p-value critical, 5%. So again, do not accept H0. Do not accept H0. Reject it. Those numbers that we got in our data set are significantly different to those values that we were expecting to get.